Buddy Carter, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it. I want to start with this. A lot of action in your region this week. I want to start with that bus tour with Vice President Kamala Harris and her pick, Tim Walz. What is the feedback that you're getting from your constituents post-bus tour in the South of Georgia?
Well, we're certainly glad to have Kamala Harris in the district and Tim Walz as well. We welcome people. I tell people all the time, 435 districts in America, and we have the very best one, and I truly believe that, the entire coast of Georgia. But I hope they enjoyed their visit. I hope she talks. I hope she talks a lot, because the more she talks, the more people realize that she's unfit to be president of the United States. I mean, here we have a candidate who's going around the country saying how she's going to fix the things that she broke. I mean, it's like OJ going to look for the real killer all over the country. I mean, Kamala Harris's fingerprints are all over the Biden-Harris administration's policies, and she can't escape that. They are her policies. It has resulted in higher inflation, resulted in the border being in crisis, resulted in our weak appearance on the world stage by our allies and by our adversaries as well, and resulted in high crime in our cities.
Now, in a recent interview with CNN, she was asked about inflation, the economy, which we know is a crisis issue for so many voters right now. Congressman, I want to ask you this. Just posing that question was posed to her. Hey, you're talking about fixing all of this stuff. You've been in the White House under President Joe Biden for the last 3 years. Why is it still like this? And she says, you know what? We're going to assess the damage that was done post-pandemic because of the Trump administration. And we had to get to the ground. We had to start building from the ground up. And inflation is under 3%. We are going to change things when it comes to price gouging. These are some of the policies that she's putting on the table. Do you think that that's enough for the voters to go and vote blue in November?
No, I do not. I don't think the voters are that naive. They understand that when Donald Trump left office, inflation was at 1.4%. When Donald Trump left office, we had one of the most secure borders we've ever had. When Donald Trump left office, America was respected in the world stage. When Donald Trump left office, our cities weren't ridden with crime like they are now. Try as she may, Kamala Harris cannot escape the fact that the Biden-Harris administration policies are her policies. You know, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And Kamala Harris is not going to be able to rid herself of the policies of the Biden-Harris administration.
Let me ask you this, Congressman. What are some of those policies that your constituents want when they're looking for a president?
Well, number one, they want inflation to come down. You know, I went to the donut shop this morning. A dozen donuts, $30. You got to be kidding me. And the price of gasoline, all as a result of what has happened through the Biden-Harris administration. Day one, they declared war on fossil fuels, resulting in an increase in gasoline prices, resulting in an increase in fertilizer prices, which resulted in an increase in groceries. People are hurting. People are having to make a decision between buying groceries and buying gas. And that's not something they should have to do. Look, people want the economy back to where it was. They want a good economy. They want the border secured. They want to stop people from coming across that border, ridding our cities of crime. They want to stop the flow of the illegal drugs that are infesting our communities, the fentanyl that is now the leading cause of death for those 18 to 40 years old. It's killing 200 people every day in our country.
Can I ask you this?
That stop.
Can I ask you this, Congressman Carter? In that interview, the vice president, she says that when she gets into office, she is not only going to bring back the bipartisan immigration bill that was shut down, but that she will pass it. Do you not think that this immigration bill would help address some of those issues that you're talking about right now?
The bill that she is talking about was not an immigration bill. It was an amnesty bill. And no, that was not a good piece of legislation. How many laws do we have on the book that says after a certain amount of people break that law, then we're going to start enforcing it? You know, they wanted us to think, okay, the first 4,000 people who come across, well, they're okay. But if you're 4,001, you're in trouble. I mean, we don't do that at TSA line at the airport. You don't say, okay, first 30 people, y'all come on through. But number 31, stop. We're going to check you. That's ridiculous. There is a border security bill out there. It is H.R. 2. It was passed by the House. It has been in the Senate, gathering dust on Chuck Schumer's desk. That's what needs to be passed.
Let me ask you this. The vice president has also proposed, when it comes to trying to fight some of the pricing, two policies that she has mentioned time and time again on her short time on the campaign trail. Let's not forget that she was just put in this position not too long ago. But the $6,000 child tax credit, as well as a $25,000 credit for first-time home buyers. Are these policies that you agree with?
Well, the devil's in the details, and we have to look at this. But no, look, if you want to do something about housing, then let's bring the interest rate down. And we can bring the interest rate down if we bring inflation down. That will help people to be able to obtain a new house. If you want to do something about the price of groceries, about the price of daycare and child care, then let's fix the economy. Donald Trump has proven in this previous administration that he can fix the economy. He needs to do it again. We need him to do it again.
And I want to just press you a little bit on that. How exactly would you suggest fixing the economy, bringing down inflation? We are looking at the numbers. Inflation is coming down. Some people attribute the rise of inflation, like you were saying at the beginning of our conversation, to the Biden administration. They broke it and now they're fixing it. But how exactly would a Trump administration change this?
Unleashing American energy. Let's face it. Day one, the Biden-Harris administration declared war on fossil fuels, resulting in higher gas prices. This president, President Trump, he will unleash American energy. We need energy independence in this country. We need food independence. We need pharmaceutical independence. We need to make sure our allies are people that we can count on in the supply chain. All of that, Donald Trump is going to make sure that we do again. This administration, the Biden-Harris administration, has failed on everything. From the worst public relations debacle in the history of this nation, and the withdrawal from Afghanistan, where we lost 13 Americans, where we left over $80 billion of equipment. We are not respected on the world stage, resulting in wars. And I remind you, there were no wars when Donald Trump was in office.
I want to ask you this, Congressman Carter. When the VP was speaking to, I believe, CNN's Dana Bash, she was asked the question, would you have a Republican serve on your cabinet? And she said yes. I would ask you, if she presented that opportunity to you, would you work in a Harris White House, or could you see any of your colleagues doing that as well? And do you think this could be important for reaching across the aisle and actually getting some stuff done?
Absolutely, I would. If the President of the United States asked me to serve, absolutely, I would. Republican or Democrat, I love this country. All of us love this country, and we want to do what's best for this country. I'm not sure they're going to ask me to serve because I'm not sure my policies coincide with their policies. But if I had the opportunity to be Secretary of Health and Human Services, being a pharmacist as I am, you better believe I'd take that opportunity, because I assure you I can bring drug prices down. I assure you I can do something about Medicaid and Medicare.
Well, hey, that's a statement. We'll put it out there and see if you get that phone call, certainly. Last question.
I don't think I'm on the short list.
Hey, you never know. Last question for you, Congressman Carter. Just looking ahead, I mean, we have so few days, under 70 days until the November election. What is your message to voters in your region about what's at stake this election day?
Elections have consequences, and the reason elections have consequences is because policies have consequences. Forget about the noise. Forget about he said, she said. Concentrate on policies. It is policies that are going to get us back on track in this country. It is going to be less regulation. Yes, we need to clean up the environment. We need to make sure that we do that. We can do that through innovation, not through regulation. The government shouldn't be telling us what kind of car we should drive or what kind of appliance we should be using. It should be done by innovation, and they should let the market decide. That's what America is about. I believe in our country. I believe in our people. We can make decisions without the government having to force us to make decisions.
Congressman Buddy Carter, thank you so much for coming on with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.